let's start with car. This is obviously the huge one. You know what? I'm just going to start off with taking an L here. And what I mean by that is one of the things, we talked about this. Big time shout out to Lion, who really had the stones to go short here. I brought on David Prince, who initially was looking for a short here and said, you know what? I may just kind of hold off on that because it's a little bit too crazy. One of the things that I had said is that one of the things you can watch for is declining volume, and that might tell you where there's a short setup. Well, is not what we got. In fact, we got one of the most bearish engulfing candles I think I've ever seen. This totally engulfs the last 3 days of madness. And if you take a look at the volume, it did not come in at all. In fact, it has remained elevated. It has continued to expand. So that type of metric to watch for a potential short here did not work. Now, CAR gapped up yesterday, traded down. We had this is what it looks like intraday. Just an absolute monster reversal. Here's what we had in the morning yesterday. Traded up out of the gate, up to 850. By the time this thing closed, this thing was almost cut in half. $460 is what I have here. It's probably closer to $450. Just an absolute monster move down. It actually looks like it's going to go down again here today. But here's the one thing. In 13, we talked about this yesterday. I would be entirely unsurprised if on its way back down to $150 or sub 200 or whatever, that this thing has another bounce. And let me show you why I think that. If I back out here and we go back to the last time that this thing short squeezed, albeit it did it in 1 day, we had the big 1 day move higher. Then we had the retracement, but this is what we had. This thing sold off to about 248 and then bounced almost 30%, depending on how you draw your lines. I did it a little bit janky here. We did this yesterday together in happy hour. This thing bounced 30% after the impulse moved down before resuming its rollover. So I say all that to say that, hey, if you're shorting CAR right now, if you're up on your short right now, good. Maybe consider scaling in that or trading around whatever your core position is. But don't be terribly shocked if CAR bounces at some point. Maybe it doesn't bounce right from here. CAR down 9% in the pre-market. Maybe it trades down a little bit more and then bounces. Just don't get caught off guard by this. And if you missed the first short and you still think this is going to go lower, I think that it's a better idea, instead of chasing the short to the downside, wait for it to bounce and then enter your short, as opposed to just, again, kind of chasing this move. 13, what do you think here on CAR?
Yeah, I think, and if you send anything down a staircase, it's going to bounce. So I think that we're probably going to get what you just said with Ava's budget as well. We're going to see some kind of a bounce here. Really don't know what kind of ferocity we're going to see to back the upside on that bounce, but it's not going to go back up over 800. I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. So let's see what we get here. I think that, we could see maybe the move down to maybe the 20-day SMA before we get that bounce and try to trade back up, to 2 or above yesterday's close. But I don't really want to make any predictions or forecasts about what's going to happen with this. We could still continue down and just continue giving all this back. So you guys that trade options, you do your thing. I'm just going to sit here and watch the show.
There you go. You're going to watch the car crash, as they say. Watch the car crash. I like it. Okay.